Hi, I'm Lee from Lee's Way or the Highway Math Tutoring. We're sending you the Quadratic Thunder from Down Under. This lesson's dedicated to my friend and colleague, Johnny Hollywood, aka John Kearsley. He's a San Diego high school teacher and a good friend of mine. He's requested factoring quadratics. Today we're doing the third lesson, difference of squares. Now, the prerequisite for this learning lesson is you need to know perfect squares. So what's a perfect square? It's just a number multiplied by itself. So 1 squared is 1, which is 1 times 1. 2 squared is 4, 2 times 2. 3 squared is 9, which is 3 times 3, etc. You should know 1 through 12. That would benefit you in seeing the patterns when they arise in difference of squares. Now, if you look at the definition of difference of squares, difference means takeaway or subtraction. In Australia here we call it takeaway. In America they typically call it subtraction. So difference of squares, perfect squares. These are the perfect squares. Now, there are more advanced patterns that we'll deal with in another lesson, but for now we're dealing with the most basic difference of squares. So let's come over here and look at the examples that we have today. Today we're looking at binomial patterns. How do we know this is a quadratic? Well, it's got an x squared in it, so it's a quadratic. And you need to see a takeaway or a minus sign, and you need to see a perfect square, hence knowing all of these. If you know your perfect squares and you have a takeaway and an x squared, you got difference of squares. This is a perfect square, x squared, because x times x is x squared. And this is a perfect square because 3 times 3 is 9. So 2 squares, difference of squares. So here we go. Now when you break these out, the minute you see this pattern, you drop your x's down, and then you're going to put a plus and a minus. Doesn't matter where they go. The negative could go here, the positive could go here. The positive can go here, the negative can go here. Now your only choice, your only other decision is what is the square root of 9? Because we're trying to go backwards. Yeah, we need two numbers that multiply to 9. Hence, if you take the square root of that number, which is the opposite of squaring a number, you will get 3. So if you just know these patterns and you don't know square roots, you probably should already know square roots at this point. Then you're home free. So the x's go down first, the plus and minus go down when you see this pattern, and then the square root of that number. And you're home free. That's it. Now you want to check. Now the check is critical to understanding what's going on because we need the two middle terms to x each other out and add up to be 0. So let's check it. X times x is x squared. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. We got that. Now, here we go. Inside's 3x, outside's negative 3x. And 3x plus negative 3x or 3x minus 3x is 0x or 0. Hence, we have no middle term and we're left with a binomial. Now, the patterns we did before this were trinomials, and so this is different. This is a binomial pattern, 2 parts. So let's go to the next one. X squared minus 4. Is this a square? Yes, x squared. Is this a perfect square? Yes, come over to the chart here. 2 squared is 4. You can also take the square root of 4, which is 2. Now, put your x's down. Put your minus and plus down. You can see I put the negative first and the plus to show you that it doesn't really matter what you do, where you stick the negative and positive. You can stick them anywhere you want. Now, we're taking the square root of 4, which is 2. We're putting the 2 there and the 2 there. We're done. Now we're going to check it. So we're not really done, but we're going to check it. So here's the check. We're expanding. X times x is x squared. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. Negative 2x is the insides, and the outsides is positive 2x. Doesn't matter which order they go in either. So negative 2x plus 2x is 0x or 0. Hence, no middle term. You can also go 2x minus 2x if you like. and you'll get 0x. So we're left with x squared minus 4. Check. So difference of squares, just to summarize. First of all, you need a square up front. You need a takeaway sign or a subtraction sign here. If you have a plus, won't work. If you have a plus here, x squared plus 9, it won't fly. So I hope you got that lesson. I did it fairly quickly. It's probably the easiest pattern to recognize for factoring quadratics. This is Lee's Way or the Highway. Go to my Instagram page at Lee's Way Math Tutoring. Subscribe on my YouTube account, please, and sign up and be my friend on Instagram. If you have any recommendations, any comments, any positive or negative comments, go for it. I got tough skin. Okay, we'll see you next time. We'll be extending on the patterns of factoring quadratics. There'll be more difficult patterns that we're going to look at in the next few lessons. Have a great day and see you soon. Thank you.